Hey guys, are you wondering if you should still buy the Fujifilm X-E3? We all know that this camera has been recently replaced by the new X-E4, but does it mean the X-E3 is no longer enough for general use, travel and family photography? I have owned and used the X-E3 for more than 2 years in various conditions, so in this video I will share with you my experience and give you my opinion on how is this little camera holding up in 2021. And if you are new here, my name is Petr Gardian and I like to take photographs with all kinds of cameras and lenses. And on this channel I am sharing with you my experience with the gear I have used, related tips and even an occasional travel story. So if you are new here, consider subscribing. But if you have been for some time, you have probably already seen my first video dedicated to the X-E3. It was from the time I used it as my travel camera and liked it very much. So if you haven't seen it, check it out by clicking on the link down in the description. But travel photography is not the only genre the little X-E3 is good at. For quite some time the X-E3 was my only Fujifilm body, and so I used it with various lenses including the 60mm 1.4 wide angle macro lens, the Universal Soldier 20mm f2 and the Magic Nifty 50 the 35mm f1.4. And I also used this trio of lenses with the X-E3 to capture my friend's wedding, and the resulting photographs made the newlyweds very happy. Since that day I hold the X-E3 in high regard and would happily use it for a similar event in future. It's a small, light, snappy camera with all important controls on the outside of the camera body, with good battery life and a very good image quality. Now, I'm not a professional event photographer, but I'm sure the X-E3 would hold its ground in covering an event at least as a second body. But you're probably not looking for a professional event camera and want instead a good budget alternative to all the new stuff that camera companies have been flooding the market with. A camera that will be good for everything you will throw at it during your casual photographic journey, covering your life and experiences. And this is where the X-E3 really shines. Its viewfinder is not the biggest and brightest, but it's big and bright enough with decent resolution and high enough refresh rate. The LCD touchscreen is not tiltable, but allows the user to use a number of gestures as well as zooming into photos and selecting focus point. You can also easily turn off the touch function and use dedicated and programmable rollers and buttons on the camera body to fully control the photographic output. A touch of genius is the dedicated switch to full auto mode, allowing you to quickly hand over the camera to a friend or a stranger who offer to take your photograph in front of whatever tourist attraction you are just visiting. All you have to do is point them out to the shutter button. Now even the photographer deserves to be in a nice photo from his holiday, so with the X-E3 you can say goodbye to over or underexposed photographs. This feature also means that pretty much anyone can use this camera regardless of their photographic experience. Otherwise the X-E3 is small, unobtrusive and yet still can mount the full range of great Fujifilm lenses. The extra grip helps a lot if the lens is bigger and heavier, or if you just like to have a more comfortable grip for your big hands. The X-E3 build quality is not far behind more premium cameras like the X100V and doesn't lose a lot of points even next to a titanium X Pro 3. Obviously some sacrifices have been made. For example, the X-E3 is not weather sealed and some materials are of lower quality, but in hand the camera feels nice and sturdy, especially with the previously mentioned additional grip. Just make sure you will get the original grip from Fujifilm, it's worth it. I'll put a link to it down below. The X-E3 is not pretending to be something more than what it is, but as a package it just brings so much. You can probably already tell I like mine a lot. And I do, but despite all of this love, I am going to sell mine. Since getting the X Pro 3 I have not used it much and it's such a good photographic tool that it should be with someone who will take it out and use it more often. Another reason is that I recently made a rather expensive purchase of a different camera with a different lens mount and need to offset some of the costs. But I will talk about this new addition in another video. What I wanted to highlight here and underline really in today's video is that if the X-E3 was my only camera, I would still be happy to use it for all kinds of photography. You can argue that there are better options, cameras that do one or the other thing better than the X-E3, but as a package, this little brick is hard to beat. And currently this is the true bargain in Fujifilm X1 photography bodies. The release of X-E4 sent the X-E3 prices down, so if you can live without a tiltable screen, buy the X-E3 and use the saved money to get a nice lens. And what about you? Do you own this powerful little camera? Or are you thinking of buying it anytime soon? I am very interested to learn about your experience with the X-E3, so please share your thoughts. Some of the best tips and conversation is happening in the comment section, so definitely engage down there and be part of our growing community. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you appreciate it, like the video and let me know about future videos you might want to see. And remember, there are show notes in the description. Have a nice day and I will see you with the next one.